This is the metric I wish every AI support agent had. Hey CS friends, good day, magandang araw. This is Ariana Mazon with Support Ops 1. Now let's jump into this article here. Why your AI's positive sentiment score is lying to you, introducing the frustration index. As soon as I read this, I was so excited that a vendor actually had this score. When I'm managing AI agents for support, the most frustrating thing I have found is having no insights that inform action. And the best thing you can do when you're working on your AI agent is deal with friction. But that is really difficult to target unless you have something like this, a frustration index. Let's get into it. Everyone wants automation, everyone wants deflection, and most teams are racing to ship something that looks intelligent enough to handle tier 1 questions. Shipping is the easy part. Figuring out whether your AI is actually good is where things get messy. That is very true. For years, sentiment analysis has been one of the main lenses we use to understand customer experience. In human-to-human support, it works pretty well. You can detect rising tension, you can catch an agent having an off day, and you can correlate emotion with queue performance, so naturally we applied the same logic to AI. We plugged transcripts into the same sentiment tools and felt pretty good when the dashboard showed lots of positive interactions. And then you read the interaction and realize what's really happening. Loops, repetition, I don't knows, and customers' thanks are the only signs of potential excess. Meanwhile, the sentiment model cheerfully reports everything is great. This is really true. When you're looking in AI at AI interactions, customers are pretty neutral, right? They're not going to be like overly excited about the AI. So if thank you is an assessment of like a very positive sentiment, that's not really a reflection of how customers are reacting to an AI. Usually they're like, you help me or I hate you, right? It's like, it's either it's okay or it's garbage. Why sentiment breaks in AI? Humans in general will have more emotional exchanges, tone, empathy, reassurance. You can feel it when a human conversation is going off the rails, and your customers will feel that too. Mostly AI creates transactional exchanges. People come with a job to be done. Where's my order? How do I return this item? What is your shipping policy? These are low emotion, neutral questions. When emotion does appear, it's for different reasons than with a human agent. For an AI chatbot, we would expect sentiment to be slightly less than neutral, neutral being the logical starting point for most transactions, and slightly lower because often when customers have problems post-purchase, they are a little frustrated. Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, when someone is contacting support, they're going to be frustrated, right? We know that. We're dealing with people who have problems. So that's the nature of the work. By the way, if you're a CS nerd like me and you're enjoying this content, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. It really helps out the channel. Continuing on here, what changes the sentiment is either a smooth user experience where questions are answered completely, contextually, and with a touch of personalization and empathy, or the opposite, question loops, misunderstandings, bad intent recognition, etc. And even if the answer is given at the end, the path towards it was a frustrating experience. This is why sentiment inflates AI performance. Sentiment models overvalue politeness. A simple thanks at the end can drag an entire conversation into the positive bucket, even when the middle of the conversation was a mess. And then we jump into here of what the actual frustration index is. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I manage AI support agents. I've recently migrated from Ada to Maven, and in that search for vendors, as I said, I was looking for solutions that created or had more insights that allowed me to act. So usually vendors are pushing resolution rate as the main metric, which I'll make another video on that, which is important because you want to know how many tickets the AI is resolving before it's escalated to a human. But what can be really hard to narrow down is the frustrating experiences that you have to solve, which is why I was so excited to see that people are thinking about this metric. This is Codif here thinking about this. So to get a cleaner signal, I started exploring something called the frustration index. It is not a one-shot emotional reading. It's an accumulation of friction moments through the entire chat. This is so true. If you read any chat conversation, this is what happens. Customers like, hey, I have a question. The bot replies with some strange answer. No, you don't understand what I'm talking about. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Tries to clarify. No, you still don't know what I'm talking about. Please send me to a human. And it's multiple instances where it fails and the customer slowly gets more and more escalated. So here we go. Here's how this frustration index works. Assuming all conversations start at a neutral rating 0, walk through the customer's phrases and adjust up or down based on what the customer is doing and saying to the AI agent. So ignore the stuff that's neutral, subtract points for friction, and add points when someone is genuinely delighted. Genuinely delighted doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. It does, which is very exciting when it does. That's it. Simple rules, but tuned around the actual failure modes of AI, not the emotional ranges of human conversations. So the triggers include things like repetition loops. As I said, you're not getting it. Friction phrases. Why is this so difficult? Explicit anger or all caps. Customers, when they're speaking with AI, are not afraid to express their anger. I see all caps a lot. It's a good indicator for friction, so this is a great way to measure this. Demands for a human, of course, and reactions to AI failure. That doesn't make any sense. On the positive side, we only count true delight, not generic politeness, not the throwaway thanks, only the moments where someone is clearly surprised and delighted and in a good way. So this article goes on, but I really wanted to highlight how that is being measured and how you can use that. Because if you have strong signals of what is causing high frustration and you can narrow down those conversations and actually read them, that's when you can actually tune and fix those problems. Without that, the signals for that are mostly like thumbs down, negative CSAT, which can be less, right? Not all angry customers are going to intentionally give a rating, but this frustration index just has that built in automatically, which I love. So check it out. This is Codif. This is a solution I did explore when looking into AI vendors, but they are focused on e-commerce, so it wasn't a fit. But this shows really good signs that they're focused on the right thing and actually want to improve the customer experience. That's it for the video today. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. This is Ariana Mazon with Support Ops 1. God bless and keep that Q down.